So our final thing to review for graphing is quadratic graphs. All right, these ones can get a little bit more complicated. The first thing is they can just be graphed with transformation. So if you have your function like this minus h is going to move your graph left and right, and this plus k moves your graph up and down. So if I wanted to graph this function, I'm going to start with my parabola, because that's x squared. This plus 2 is going to move my graph left 2, so everything slides left. This minus 5 moves everything down 5, so I slide it down. All right, so the blue graph here is my final answer. You can see it just moved left 2, down 5. But not every quadratic is in this form. Most of the time we actually see quadratics like this. So it's not going to be as easy to graph because it's not telling me exactly what's left and what's right. But I can do this by finding the vertex of the quadratic, which is kind of that point that moves left and right. And there's kind of 2 steps to do this. First, you need to find the x value of the vertex, and that's going to be this formula negative b over 2a. This seems a little complicated, but you have your quadratic formula memorized, which you should because you're going to have to use it. If you have the quadratic formula memorized and you just get rid of the square root, this is what's left over. All right, so it's not like an extra thing you have to memorize completely. Memorize your quadratic formula, cover up part of it, and you get this. All right, so that's going to be the x value of the vertex. And if I know the x value, I can always find the y value by just plugging it in. All right, x and y values are always related because the x plugs in to get y. All right, so let's say I want to say graph this. All right, this is not in the vertex form. It's not telling me exactly how far left or right to go. So I need to figure out the vertex. All right, so I take negative b over 2a. b is 8, a is 1. So I simplify that, I get negative 4. So now I know negative 4 equals x for my vertex. If I take negative 4 and plug it in, it's putting negative 4 in for the x's, and simplify, I get negative 6. So my vertex now is going to be negative 4, negative 6. I can put that on my graph down here, left 4, down 6. And I know because it's a quadratic, it's a parabola, so I add that. And that's my final answer. All right, negative 4, negative 6, and I have my graph. All right, so now you have everything you need to know about graphing. You should be able to graph any function, the basics, and using transformations.